we are here playing, I guess we could call this session 1 of Ron Edwards' Sorcerer. Last week we had a kind of session 0 where we were creating characters and creating demons and talking a little bit about the game. And I think we are now kind of prepared to launch into this. We are playing this game as part of the Gauntlet, which is an online role-playing community. If you are watching this and are curious about what this community is all about, you can go to gauntlet-rpg.com. And when you go there, you'll find that we have a very busy calendar that we keep of people who are playing various types of role-playing games. And also as part of the Gauntlet, we are abiding by our community code of conduct. And I'm going to be talking about some elements of that when we get into safety momentarily. But if you want to get a kind of full rundown of what the community code of conduct says, you can go to gauntlet-rpg.com. I also will kind of put a little plug in here for adeptplay.com. If you find this game, Sorcerer, interesting and are interested in picking up a copy of it, you can get a PDF copy at adeptplay.com. And also, if you're kind of interested in this kind of game design and interested in seeing what Ron Edwards is up to, you can go to that website to kind of get more information. So as I said, we're abiding by the Gauntlet's community code of conduct, which includes abiding by certain safety standards or safety tools that we will be using. We covered these last week, but I'll just kind of do a quick reminder that one thing is that we have the X card that is always in play. If something is happening in the game where a player kind of realizes that this is not going to be safe for them or fun for them, they are encouraged to say X card or type X card in the chat or hold their arms in the form of an X in front of them, and we'll immediately stop play, back up a little bit, take a different direction, and you don't have to just say anything to justify the use of the X card. If questions are asked, it'll be simply to kind of clarify what it is that the X card is being applied to just make sure that we're all kind of clear on what we need to be avoiding. We also will be using lines and veils, and we have a character keeper with a list of the lines and veils. As I pointed out last week, this is a kind of living document. So if there is something that is not currently listed as a line or a veil, but in the course of play, you would like to put a line on something or a veil on something, we can simply add it to the list. Currently, we have sexual assault as a line. That means that sexual assault will not be something that will factor into the game at all. It will be a kind of theme and topic that we will be avoiding. We have under veils right now torture and violence to children and animals as things that are veiled. And if it's veiled, it just means that these are things that could be mentioned, but with them being veiled, we are not going to be kind of going into any kind of graphic details or imagery or anything like that, that they will be kind of mentioned and they'll be kind of off stage, and they'll never be kind of right there as a big spotlight of something that we would be developing or describing in any way. Another safety tool is the open table. So if something comes up in the middle of a session and you need to leave for any reason, you should by all means take care of what you need to take care of. it is helpful if you have a chance, if you know that, oh, this is going to just be a short exit and return, or if you think that you won't be returning back for the rest of the session. It's, if you have time to do that, that's nice. But if you don't have time to do that, that's fine as well. You can just, leave, and, we'll kind of figure out what we will do then. But, the open table is there for everybody to use. So with that, let me go back to the characters in our character keeper. Let me ask if there are any questions at this point, anything that is perplexing you or that you're kind of curious about in terms of the game. Okay.
I don't know enough to have questions yet. They'll come.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think what I would like to do, and again tonight, I'd like us to take a couple brief breaks, and so we'll try to plan on those. If you'd like to propose a break, or if I've forgotten that we should be taking a break, please don't hesitate to mention that or put up something in the chat about that. I think why don't we do this? Why don't we have everybody just kind of quickly introduce themselves and just their character right now. We'll do a round of that. And then we'll do a second round where I'd like you to describe your demon and describe the last time you satisfied your demon's needs and what that looked like. Okay, but first of all, let's just start with an introduction of yourself as the player, and then say a little bit about the character that you created last week. I'm not playing a character per se. I have a lot of non-player characters I've come up with, but my name is Robbie. I use he, him pronouns. I've been on the Gauntlet a little over 2.5 years at this point. And I'm a kind of long-time role-playing game player. And I'm excited, always excited to play a game of Sorcerer. Nicholas, we go to you next.
Hi, I'm Nicholas. I've been on the Gauntlet since December, and I am playing Zip, who is kind of in a cult of prosperity, cult of riches. I think I've been putting a little bit of thought into what he looks like, and I think he's got kind of a medium-length blonde hair, and kind of wears loose. They could have been Hawaiian shirts, but they're all just like white or pink or green or some sort of looks like it belongs in the Caribbean somewhere. And he wears this gaudy necklace that, since he's been wearing this necklace, luck has not treated him wrong. So he is just on a roll of just fortune.
Okay. Greg, can we go to you next?
Sure. My name is Greg. My pronouns are he, him. And this is my second game on the Gauntlet. And very much enjoying the chance to get to play more narrative games, which is something I had wanted to for years and hadn't had a chance to until fairly recently. I am playing, I can't remember his last name, Jackson Nelson, who is a young gay hustler who has managed to bind a demon to himself by tattooing it onto his body. And the tattoo, once bound, came alive. he has used the demon's powers to get himself in good with a wealthy lover, and now lives in his opulent mansion in a swanky neighborhood. But he's from backwoods Florida, and so a little bit fish out of water.
Yeah, and I like your description of that tattoo as a brightly colored, stylized beetle with some symbols on it that can actually hang out usually on the bicep, but can move if it wants to.
Whenever it wants to cause trouble, yes.
Yeah.
So,
okay, and Stephen, how about you?
Yeah, hey there, hashtag Taylor Invaders. I'm Steven, and I'm playing Taylor, or at Smart Not Swift on Twitter. You could, at and follow me, retweet. I am a popular Twitter personality who has, who does not I've managed to achieve sorcerer's power without joining hashtag not a cult. I am 20 something, they them, and yeah, I think that's what we need to know about me.
Okay. And let's go back to Nicholas. You have you have your necklace, but it's a demon. It's a demonic necklace, which is a possessor demon, and your demon's need is to consume wealth. And in Sorcerer, you want to on a somewhat regular basis satisfy your demon's needs, because when a demon does not have its need met, it becomes a little bit more disobedient, or can create more problems. Although you were kind of golden in your roles last time, so you kind of start off with a kind of a strong kind of binding on your demon. But can you tell us about the last time that you satisfied your demon's needs, and what happened?
Yeah, so it's weird. I don't quite understand how this is working yet. But yeah, I had this really strange craving. I was hanging out at the house. The wife was gone for the weekend, and I just had this need to eat her jewelry, and it never came out, and it just disappeared, and I don't understand how that worked or why it happened.
And
so I've been denying. I have no idea where your grandmother's necklace went.
That's what
I
was
haven't seen
wondering,
it in years.
what the conversation
so
was.
you literally consume wealth.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And it blows my mind. I'm like, why did I do that? I don't understand. Weird cravings.
So how aware are you? So you don't are you not realize you're possessed by a demon?
No, I 100% believe that I am just on this positive mind spree that's just like taking me to areas of prosperity that you can't imagine. And I am actively ignoring the need to eat wealth, but participating in it because it has to happen.
Yeah, and it's the people who don't think they're in a cult who end up doing the human sacrifices, so...
Right, I'm not sacrificing children or anything. What could be wrong with this?
Well, we'll see for now.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, this is wonderful. I like the possessor demon with the sorcerer, who is I mean, you do know, right, that to acquire the necklace, you went through some type of ritual, but there's
of positive mindset ritual, right?
Mhm.
They call it a ritual, but it's really about getting in the right mindset, about really embodying prosperity.
Greg, you have your tattoo, which is a parasite demon, and its need is messing with folks. And I think a description here would be, yeah, the last time you met the need will be kind of helpful, because it'll help us to kind of really pin down what it means for your demon to mess with people.
Yeah, it's I think its need to mess with people is to cause trouble, strife, or its goal is domination. So anything that, you know, allows me to mess with people, especially if I can gloat about doing it and getting away with it. Although in this case, the last time I fed its need was one of the housekeepers in the home I'm living in now does not like me. And so I arranged to one day, as she was cleaning, used my demonic ability to cloak myself to, as she was cleaning a very expensive glass statue, just push it right off onto a nearby table and thereby smash it. Quickly called attention to it, and I think probably it resulted in her getting fired, which is exactly the sort of thing my demon loves, you know.
Okay, yeah, that not only did you mess with her, but it had like some other kind of repercussion to it that kind of added to the delight. This does remind me that with some of these abilities, you need to specify who the user of the ability is. Sometimes it's pretty obvious. So like your cloak ability, you are the user of that, right? The demon supplies the power, but you are the one that is being cloaked and not the demon.
I think for parasites, by default, the user is usually the sorcerer.
Right. Right. And the same would be, yeah, I think with all of yours, you know, with some demons and some abilities, though, it can be different, right? Because, you know, like, for example, if you had, well, like a passer demon with, you know, some type of cloaking ability, right? It could be the one that actually used that ability. Yeah, as I say, a lot, I think in most cases it ends up being obvious. Usually the boost power is right. It's the sorcerer who becomes the user of that, because they want their own stamina or will or lore to be the thing that is boosted. Okay, and then finally, let's go to Smart Not Swift with the demon hashtag Percy No Mercy, living in the cell phone, and its need is to eat people's secrets. So
yeah, hey, hashtag Taylor Invaders, fun new game. DM me the worst thing you've ever done, and the winner will receive a will receive a lunch with me.
and so you get a bunch of DMs, right? Direct messages in response to this. Do you have lunch with somebody?
Yeah, I don't call those to them to their face, but I call them at SadSack42. Because of course I don't call people by their names. And were already like 41 Sad Sacks people I've already named Sad Sacks. So.
Okay. And yeah, and I like your demon's telltale as well. So you have electronic devices glitch and display its name and its presence, and they're always wondering, I guess, why. Well, what is it with that name that's kind of appearing?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So a quick question at the start here is: do you imagine at the beginning of this that you all know each other in any way, or do you think that you are currently? I mean, Miami South Beach is a big place. A lot of people, bustling around there. So, it certainly would be, possible that you wouldn't know each other.
My thought was that we initially don't know each other, and that likely events will bring us together at some point.
Okay.
I think there is some discussion that probably Taylor and last time Taylor and Jackson peripherally know each other, but we're not particularly close.
We do know each other through the clubs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me of that.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off here and frame a scene. And I've got that's my cat, Smudge, her tail.
You have a white cat named Smudge. I have a friend who does as well.
She she's the one. I have 4 cats, and Smudge is usually the one who is most into the role-playing games for some reason. So, all right. So this is going to be a let's see. This is going to be with Zip, and you have a tycoon friend. You named him Mr. Valentine. I went on and gave him the first name of Rad Valentine.
That's great. That's excellent.
He has you've been mostly into selling timeshares, but Rad Valentine has an interest in getting into some commercial real estate in South Beach, right? I mean, it says, timeshares, it's okay when you're trying to kind of get yourself established, but it's really kind of small money, right? That the big money is on the commercial properties. I mean, there you're talking about, deals that go well into the millions of dollars. When you're talking about, commercial property on South Beach. And he found out about a business, Icy and Spicy, that was going up for sale. Prime property, great location, and actually, it's a little kind of interesting that it would be going up for sale because it's the business at Icy and Spicy has been great, right? It seems to be doing perfectly well. And, he had, everything kind of set up for kind of getting himself into, purchasing this business. But then things kind of got weird, and he found out that there was this this first right of refusal clause that was involved in the previous sale of that property. And the person who's selling it now, the current owner is not even in South Beach anymore, but the sale is being handled by somebody, and I have this in the non-player character tab. Tsane Bad Boy is this guy who says he's with Brava Investments. And so, one day, Rad is kind of calling you up and on his cell phone, and he says, Zip, I mean, what do you think about this deal? I think, I myself have not fully gotten myself into the commercial real estate. I'm really kind of interested in it, but this just sounds, weird, right? I mean, why would this be for sale? And then why at the last minute am I getting this idea that, oh, there's this, first right of refusal clause that is kind of hampering it. And Tsane is kind of leading me to believe that I've never even heard of this guy before, but, he's kind of leading me to believe that, there are going to be like other clauses that are going to be involved in this real estate transaction that may be a little unusual.
Oh, Mr. Valentine, can I call you Rad? Rad. It is really strange. But I'd like to talk with him more about it. I feel like this is the only barrier. If we can get past this, it's going to be just smooth sailing. So
yeah, well, he wants to meet me.
Yeah.
This afternoon.
Great.
He's in Miami Tower. That's that big kind of skyscraper in downtown. He says he has his office of Brava Industries up there. I'm sorry, Brava Investments. That's up
yeah.
there.
Brava Investments, you don't say.
I never even heard of this. Like,
no. It's got to be like an offshore thing? I haven't heard of them either.
No, and I did a kind of quick little thing on the internet, doing a kind of search. I got a little website that's there, but it looks, I mean, the website kind of looks nice, but it's not like there's a lot really meaty that's actually there. It's just like some,
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. It looks like it was made in the 80s or something. This is pretty bad website, but I still think we should meet with him.
Okay, so you want to go with me to check this out? I don't know that he's expecting you, but I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I feel like an extra set of eyes might be good.
Yeah, just tell him that one, I'm a co-investor, right? So in order to make this deal, we both have to see it.
Okay, I'll tell him that. Why don't you, he gives you the, he says it's the Miami Tower. It's the 14th floor, like it's 67 is the office number up there. And he says, I'll meet you over there at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So we can just go on and fast forward if you want to.
Yep, I'm good with that.
Okay. So you appear at, you know, up there in front of 1467 Miami Tower. It's you know, when you open the door to it, there's a you know, a small reception area with a tanned blonde woman behind a desk. It looks very it's you know, it looks kind of pristine in there, but it looks very small. It's kind of like a cramped kind of reception area. And you know, she looks and says, "Oh, this is you know," looks at her computer screen. "This is Mr. Valentine. And which one of you is Mr. Valentine?" Okay. She looks at the screen and says, "I'm not really expecting somebody else. Who are you?"
Oh, I'm Zip, co-investor in this arrangement.
A co-investor. Oh, you know, usually Tsane is pretty particular about who all is going to be here. Well, let me see. And she, you know, kind of calls, you know, Tsane, says, "Okay, there's a co-investor here." You know, Tsane, you can hear a pause. But then she says, "Oh, okay." He says, "You both can come in." And she, you know, kind of opens the door into Tsane's office. It is also kind of pristine and is also very small, and it doesn't have a window, right? I mean, that they're in this, you know, big office building, but it's you know, small little office for Brava Industry or Investments, and yeah, it's just kind of tucked away without any windows. Tsane, let me describe him briefly to you. He's wearing these white linen pants and kind of white linen sport jacket. They look like maybe 2 sizes too big for him.
Nice.
And he wears these leather sandals. And he looks I mean, he looks haggard. You know, he also looks a little nervous, but says, you know, come in, please sit down. And he, you know, he has a couple neat piles of papers on his desk, and he says, "Oh, and I'm sorry, it's been a kind of a scorching day out there. Can I get you all something to drink, some water or some iced tea, or I could also make a cocktail if you're interested."
Oh, iced tea would be just splendid. Thank you.
Okay, and you know, Rad will follow suit, and
Yeah.
you know, he goes, you know, off to this little alcove, and kind of you see him with he has a little mini fridge, pulls that out, you know, makes the iced tea for you, you know, pours out the iced tea for you, and kind of brings it back and sits it in front of you. And, you know, kind of starts to talk about like Icy and Spicy, how it's such a great deal, right? He's kind of saying, you know, business there has been really great, but that the current owner has just decided that he is going to drop out of it. But you know, that actually Brava Investments has that the rights to that special clause, right? That says, you know, that they have the first right to kind of move in on this. But Hussein says, I'm not really interested in doing that, and I've put together a deal that I think will well, I think it'll be positive for everybody. It'll complete the sale, and we can kind of go through things and kind of make sure that everything is appropriate and in order.
What sort of deal? Tell me more.
So he starts kind of launching into, right. He kind of pulls the, he says, okay, I have these, the contract here, and I have it in duplicate. So, you two can kind of look through this while
I just start pouring through that. His voice just becomes like background noise as I'm like, contracts. I know contracts. I've got to find, there's something wrong with this for sure. There's no reason that he would want to stay in the middle if there wasn't like a hook for his investment company.
Okay, let's we're gonna do some rolls right now.
Okay.
A couple things that are gonna be going on, and I also will. So let me get we have the roll for your party. I'm gonna go in and clear it. And I need to also, I worked up Rad's, had some scores for Rad, because he'll need to roll here as well. Where do I have him? There he is. Okay. So first of all, we need to make a will roll, and your will is
5. And I feel like this contract is one of the most important things I've seen in months. I would like to leverage my relationship with Prosperous Favor to really boost my will as I'm assessing this contract.
okay. So yeah, you can do that, and with the boost, that means that Prosperous Favor's power is added to the given score. Okay.
Okay.
So what is his power?
5.
Okay. What it says is that boosting reduces the demon's power to 1 while it is maintained. Right?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The other abilities, but yeah, so you can go on and do this, and you're going to be, with this game, they're always opposed rolls. So this is going to be up against a 4. So I'm going to roll 4 dice, and you will roll your will plus your demon's power against that. And we're going to roll D10. And I'm going to roll green, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are those colors?
There's a drop down on the right. You'll see.
Oh, yep, I see it. So I think I have 10 D10, 5 being my demon's power and 5 being my stat. Does that sound right?
That sounds correct, yes. It sounds like the odds will be, you will be prosperous here.
It does sound like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I hit, okay, submit. 10, 10, 10.
Yeah, and then I'm also going to roll for Rad.
Oh, cool.
We'll see how he does.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that goes well for you. You were especially successful. I would say that as you start this meeting, you take a couple of sips of that tea, and the tea tastes odd to you. There's something kind of metallic that.
Yeah. And so I just like return the sip into the cup, making it look like finishing the sip, right? And set it down on the table and try to non-verbally communicate to Mr. Valentine, tea, don't drink.
And also, I think this is also kind of justified given the role here. When Tassain pushes the kind of stack of the contract over to you, you feel your necklace getting kind of a little warm. That your necklace seems to be having a reaction when that contract comes over.
Yeah. As if there was a rival cult of prosperity in effect, one might say, or other sorceress. But I would, of course, think, oh, this is someone using the same methods that I use to push their own goodwill at the cost of my goodwill. And so I look to Rad, and I say to Rad, you know, this would be so much easier if we didn't have to deal with this party that had the right of first refusal, this investment firm. And I say it kind of loud in front of the person who represents the investment firm. What do you think? What do you think our chances are of just cutting this part of the deal out and going straight to the selling party? Do you think we have a shot, or do you think we got to deal with this?
No, are you asking that to Rad or to
Rad? Yeah,
to Rad.
Yeah. But kind of in display in front of the other party, so that they can see that we're fishing for a better option.
Okay. Well, Rad says, well, maybe, but I think one of us should at least kind of look through this a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. This will take a few hours, but I will definitely pour through it this afternoon.
Tassain kind of looks a little weary and says, come on, for the most part, this is just, a standard contract. I think if we just go over it right now, I don't think it'll take a couple hours.
Tassain, I've got a form contract. We could sign that right now. I'm very comfortable with it. If you're just looking to move fast, we've got our own paperwork we can bring over. It could be here in 20 minutes.
Well, okay. So what do you want to do? Do you want to take the contract yourself and look it over?
Yeah. Maybe 3-4 hours. I should fully understand what's going on here.
Okay. He's reluctant, but he says, okay, all right. But you'll be back here later, like, can we say this evening?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you want to make a dinner date out of it, that'd be great.
Okay, why don't we could do that? Well, maybe we could just meet down at the Icy and Spicy.
Yeah, get some firsthand experience with the property in question.
Okay. He agrees. He's reluctant, but he says, okay, that would be okay.
Great.
So you are gonna Zip is gonna take the contract.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, because I think Rad is you know, Brad strikes me as the kind of guy who doesn't want to get like bogged down into like the minutia of like the kind of contracts and stuff like that.
He also has much deeper pockets than I do. So if I can do some clerical work to like earn my keep at this table, I'm going to do that.
Okay. All right. So why don't we leave that there, and we'll come back and let's go to Jackson Nelson. I'm always it's like the name where like which is the first name, which is the last name. Right? So it's Jackson. Let's go to you and your buddy Mr. Wallace. He where does Wallace live? Like what is his domicile look like?
I'm trying to remember the name of the neighborhood.
It's South Beach.
North Bay Road.
Okay.
Which is sort of a swanky oceanfront neighborhood. So he has a kind of fairly large home sitting on some oceanfront property.
Mm-hmm.
So, very wealthy. The neighborhood is pretty well populated. It's not like sort of enclosed estates or anything. It's just big homes, one right next to each other.
Okay. So to set the scene, you've been outside sunbathing and kind of come in, and James Wallace, he's getting himself dressed up like for some type of a business meeting, which is like for South Beach, right? I say dressed up. It's not like he's wearing a tie or anything like that, but
Right.
he's looking pretty, putting on some nice tailored clothes,
right?
And he's smiling. He looks excited, and he says, there's been a lot on my mind recently, but I've got to kind of come clean to you, Jackson. I'm about to hit a big score, a big real estate score, and I can't believe it. It's like something just kind of dropped in my lap.
Wow, that sounds great.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I'm surprised you haven't mentioned this before, but
well, okay. Here's the deal. That place called, well, people usually refer to it as Pink Flamingos, but it's really Pink Flame Ingots, down on South Beach, that club.
Oh yeah, Pink Flamingos, yeah.
They're selling it, and I wasn't in on this, but apparently I was listed on the original sales contract as having first right of refusal. Do you know what that means?
No, that's your thing. But I take it. I guess that's good for you.
Well, yeah. I mean, it means that I have the first opportunity to buy the place.
Okay, and you want to, I guess.
Well, I mean that the selling price is, I mean, it's over 10 million, but for what it is, it's a deal. I mean, I would be crazy to turn it down.
Great.
Well,
So this just kind of came out of nowhere, huh? Well, that's good.
well, yeah. I mean, it's ludicrous. Like how would my name have ended up with that? But they want me to go down there. They're going to give me a quick tour of it, and they want to seal the deal today.
Okay.
Well, I mean, okay. So do you want to
So
come with me, or do you want to hang out here and wait for me, and then we'll maybe celebrate tonight?
okay, I like Pink Flamingos well enough. You know, I could go hang out. You know, I don't know if I want to sit and talk with your finance buds, but
Okay, well, it's up to you. I mean, if I've got to leave in about 30 minutes to go down there, but if you want to get yourself dressed, that's fine. Or as I say, if you want to stay here and kind of get things ready for a little celebration, we can do that as well.
I like that idea much better.
Okay, so with that, he'll get himself together and kind of give you a hug and a kiss as he kind of makes his way happily off to close the deal on the pink flamingo, or the pink flamingos. When he's gone, is there anything that what would you be doing in the meantime? I mean, he kind of gives you a sense that he'll be gone for a couple of hours to close the deal and then be back.
Right. Probably getting the staff to prepare some snacks and making sure our drug supplies are good.
Okay.
And just in picking out sexy clothes,
Okay. We'll end with this. I'll kind of just describe him when he comes back.
Okay.
When he comes back, he has a smile on his face, but he doesn't seem to be quite himself. He seems to be a little bleary. He's you see him kind of walking in, and it's he's not really walking straight. He's having to kind of hold himself up. And you also see that he has one of his hands that's bandaged. And he says, "Well, the deal is done. I tell you what, I got this nasty cut when we were kind of going through things. The darndest thing, right? I don't know. We were kind of like passing these papers, and there was one paper that was kind of thick, and it really just sliced me across the hand."
Those are the worst, but that all that happened? Because you seem kind of drunk.
Well, yeah.
I mean more so than usual. It's kind of odd for
yeah, he says,
business deal.
Well, we were drinking. Oh, and I'll and he says they were giving me they gave me this drink, and I never really had checked out Pink Flamingos, but like the deal with this place is okay, it's also Pink Flame Ingots. They have cups or glasses that look like gold ingots, but they're like hollowed out so that you can use them as a cup to drink from. And then they have this thing called Pink Flame that they put in the ingots, right? Like it's this pink drink, and it really tastes great. But and they kind of sometimes light it up. They'll put something on it, and they kind of flames up. They gave me one of those, and I don't know. I started drinking it, and then I got this paper cut, and well. Anyway, the deal is done though. They were very nice there. You know, I met a woman named Quest Redwell who kind of took me through everything, and it seemed like it was all, you know, in order and a good deal. So guess who's the owner of Pink Flamingos?
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah, and part of the contract is that I can't change the management. I don't know why I'd want to change the management anyway, but they say that, you know, for 12 months at least, the current management has to, you know, be in place. So I mean, but that was fine with me, and you know, I actually it's a burden off my shoulders. I was wondering how in the, you know, what do I know about running a club, right? But the it seems to be, you know, booming business there, and I'm the owner.
Great. You ready to celebrate?
Yeah, yeah, great. and we can, like, you know, he is interested in celebrating, so you know, we could kind of imagine what.
Yes, we can put a veil over the details. So.
Okay. And with that, why don't we take a little break, and then Stephen will, when we come back, we'll see what's going on with Smart Not Swift.
I'm kind of curious about these drinks they served him. I would assume I had one before and had no
did not
effects
have
from
that
it.
problem.
Yeah. So
I'm concerned about the contract I'm pouring over. It's like, oh, I'm going to turn into a zombie like that guy. Maybe it's not quite that bad.
that's what happens when you do all that reading of contracts. So.
Turn into a zombie. It's just like that.
Mm-hmm. Hey there, Robbie. I'm back. I'll be turning on my camera in just a minute, but feel free to continue.
And you are muted.
I recently went to, you know, when I run games, I, you know, have all these notes. I've gone to like using these note cards, so I'm like always shuffling through the note cards to kind of get myself situated. So so with Smart Not Swift, one thing I am a little curious about is he was going back to the character keeper. He was
Isn't it they?
Yeah, and they
yes,
them.
that yeah, they were they had their Twitter account vandalized and doxxed by somebody. And you know, there's kind of some mystery about that, because like you said last week that you know, with the help of Percy No Mercy, you know, you tried to track down who was doing this, and you were getting like mysterious, they seem like kind of bogus IP addresses that were appearing. Like, I'm curious a little bit more about, like, you know, when they doxed you, what exactly did Mephistopheles or whoever this was, you know, I mean, what were they doing? I mean, what were they broadcasting about you, or? You're muted.
I think it's partly that I live a lot more like hand to mouth than my social media would like to imply. And I think probably like they had actually like, besides just leaking my address and whatnot, they actually had like taken photos inside my apartment, which I think is probably like a small studio in not one of the nicer parts of town.
Okay. Yeah, I that makes that kind of the way I was thinking about this. That actually is good. Yeah, that you know, they in addition to whatever vandalism, yeah, that it's like whoever this is, they have been kind of in actual geographic proximity to
Yeah.
you. I mean, not only have they kind of been clearly, they've been kind of following your Twitter feed, right? And have been kind of trolling you on your social media, but yeah, that they also seem to be somehow in this area and have kind of creeped you out by kind of giving kind of these pictures that are kind of floating around out there. So I'm going to frame a scene where one of your, well, in this case, it's both a Twitter follower and somebody that you know personally face to face as well. It's a woman named Hecuba Leaper, who is the owner of
Sad Sack 29.
the owner of Shiva's Emporium, which is located between Icy and Spicy and Pink Flamingos. There's a clothing boutique named Shiva's Emporium. For some reason, Hecuba likes you. Why would she like you?
Well, I mean, obviously it has to do with the fact that I mean, sure, she's SS-29, but I gave her her boutique a great plug on my Twitter feed. Like if you like so what kind is, like, when you say like boutique, is it like, what kind of boutique is it?
Shiva's Emporium, I imagine it as selling kind of trendy women's clothes that would appeal especially to like the 20-something crowd, kind of, kind of things that like the 20-something women would wear to clubs and things like that, right? That it would have a certain kind of pizzazz to it when they were going out at night on South Beach.
Yeah, I have definitely done some like dressing room photo ops at her store.
I was going to ask if they had modeled the clothes.
Yes.
All right, so Hecuba Leaper, I should probably describe her. I imagine her as she's past the 20-something crowd. She's like a 30-something kind of owner, but somebody who you imagine that like in her 20s was like really active on the kind of club scene, and she's she clearly is somebody who, I mean, she's somebody who is kind of afraid of growing old, right? And so you kind of see, you can start to see the signs that she's applying the makeup a little bit too heavily now, right? That she's attractive, and has a very kind of fun, right, vibrant personality. But you see that she kind of is, sometimes you'll see her looking in the mirror and kind of giving herself a kind of look over, and sometimes she kind of clearly is not entirely happy with what she sees there. She gets in touch with you through a direct message on Twitter and says, what would she address you as? Would she? She's not going to use Taylor. Would she just use Smart, not Swift?
Yeah, Smart, not Swift. Smart, not Swift.
Say Smart, not Swift. If you're in the area, there's a new installation at the Museum of Illusions. How about we meet up over there to take a look at what they have?
Yeah, I type in top hat rabbit wand, and then a okay.
Yeah, and she would kind of get into the that spirit, and probably type back with mirror, puff of smoke, thumbs up, right? So if you want to, do you want to just fast forward to, you're muted.
Yeah, I head out. I try out a number of different belly shirts in a mirror before settling on a pastel yellow one, and put on a pair of heart shades, and pull out a pink umbrella, and then I'm out.
Okay. So
my skin is fair. I'm not going out in this Miami sun without a shade.
So yeah, you make your way over there, and any idea like what would like a new installation at the Museum of Illusions be?
I mean, it depends on what the tone we want to go for is. Like, is it like famous illusions and the stars who died in them?
Oh, that would be good. Yeah, I mean, when I was looking online, I mean, they do some things where like they're clearly kind of set up for tourists to take photos with themselves in some type of illusion. But I like the idea that like they have this really weird new kind of new installation or kind of exhibit, yeah, where they're kind of taking it in a little morbid direction for some reason. Right, that's where you meet up with.
Oh yeah,
Hecuba.
oh yeah. Yeah, see, you would look great drowning to death in that tank over there. Quick, get in, and I'll take a photo of you.
You say that to Hecuba?
Yes.
Hecuba knows your sense of humor, and so I think she says, "Oh, let's do that," right? And I think Hecuba, like, they have like the tank. It's not filled with water, but
yeah,
they have it there, and Hecuba says, "Can you make sure that like nobody who works here sees this?" And I will do that. I will crawl in there for you to get a photo. I think that would be a hoot.
that is an idea. And I go on, now go on. There's no one before they stop us. I mean, they should really be paying me for this. I am practically giving them free publicity.
So yeah, she does that. I think towards after you do the photos, somebody like from the establishment sees you and sees her and gets like very, very angry and kind of gets her out of there. But yeah, Hecuba had a delightful time kind of pulling that off. Says you'll have to be sure to send me the photos. But then she gets more serious and she says, but all this funny business aside, I know that you are aware of the scene on South Beach, but I think that you largely see things, from the point of view of. Well, I mean, the reason why you're so popular is because you kind of cover things from the point of view of people who are not owners, but the party goers, the clubbers, right? The people who are kind of passing. Or
I'm popular because I have taste, and that is something the majority of South Beach largely lacks, dear.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, you certainly have your own taste, and people find it amusing, but I'm a little worried about what's happening behind the scenes in my immediate neighborhood. I'm especially concerned with Icy and Spicy and the Pink Flamingos.
Oh, are they the ones that do that stupid flaming ingot drink?
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense. Why would an ingot be on fire?
Yeah, and right, that kind of fluorescent pink that they somehow pour into the drinks.
Maybe if it was fluorescent gold, that would make sense. But anyway, sorry, continue.
Well, both of those places have gone up for sale. And it hasn't been publicized. And well, I mean, places go up for sale, yes, but the fact that they're not publicizing it, and they the actual owners, I know the owners of these places, that they've left. Like they're not around anymore. I don't know whether where they've moved to, or well, and
you saying they were murdered?
I don't think that they were murdered, but
oh, okay. I look a little bit disappointed, but
I don't think they were involved in any of these illusion tricks either. But well, I didn't know, like, I didn't expect that you would know anything about this, but I was thinking that maybe you could, I don't know if you have like some of these connections on the internet where you could maybe figure out what's going on.
Well, I am concerned, of course, that someone with who would possibly, I don't know, somehow make the flame. Sorry, what was the flaming flamingo or
the pink flamingos?
Yes, right. The pink flamingo would somehow make it that will somehow make the pink flamingo even worse than it already is. I mean, hashtag -1 out of 2 stars. But I mean, this cannot stand, and I can assure you that I will have the hashtag Taylor Invaders on it, along with myself, because I am the only one I can trust.
You while you're discussing this,
I'm already tweeting. I'm already tweeting my announcement of my investigation to my followers.
Okay.
But continue I'm talking to her and tweeting this in one hand, and then something else is happening. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, okay. So while you're doing this thing on Twitter, a Twitter DM comes through, and do you open the direct message?
I mean, yeah, I open it.
It's coming from somebody who is uses the tag Beelzebub, and when you open it up, it's what you get. It's not really well. It's a picture. It's a picture of you taking a picture of Hecuba in the tank. So, in other words, it's a picture that would have been taken just a couple minutes prior, and it has a message.
I'll have to hang on. I'm having a social media emergency right now. All my love, and I give her like a kiss on each cheek, and like I will look. I promise you, I will look into this, but I need to go and take care of this, and I just go.
Okay. And when you say you just go, where do you go?
I mean, I go out of the museum, and I take a look at this message. Was there any actual like text with it?
Yes. I mean, the only text with it was just something obvious like watching you.
Yeah, I sent a DM. Is my Percy No Mercy there? Winky face, smiling devil emoji.
And you get a response immediately back where what would Percy No Mercy, what would be his usual sign-in be for Percy No Mercy?
Any kind of edgelord Reddit troll sign-in. That's basically his personality.
So yeah, but he's at the ready, right? I mean that as is when he's happy with you, and he's kind of content with you, right?
Yeah, when he's content with me, his insults usually lack any real bile to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he says, "What's up?" Or "Was up?"
Some at Devil Wears Prada is fucking with me, and I need a certain devil with the code to look into it for me, and I forward him this DM.
Okay. So you want Percy No Mercy to kind of help you kind of maybe figure out like where this is coming from?
Yeah, he also has the like he operates at, yeah, like while he lives on the phone, he does have the cover hacker, and that is like he is able to do things from the phone like hacking.
Correct. And he also has the perception of
Yeah.
of kind of internet or digital footprints.
Yeah.
So I mean, did you want to ask him to use one of those abilities? And
Yeah, I want him to use the cover of hacker to see if he could track down where like the like any information he can find on this profile that sent it to me.
Okay. I need to find, give me, as the cover, I'm going to have him use his power of 4 for this. And I need to get my, they're always opposed rolls, so I have to figure out what you would be rolling up against.
I also like to think that in the middle of that, when I did that whole I have to go emergency, she was in the middle of just talking, like having small chat with me, and I just like held out my finger and with like a shh, internet emergency, have to go. Just to clarify the framing of that goodbye.
Yeah, I think, you know, Hecuba kind of knows you, kind of knows the way that you like. She does, you know, she's not probably as put off by this as somebody kind of knowing you for the first time. She probably rolls her eyes a little bit, right? Yeah. So, okay. You're going to roll, and I'm going to give you, this is something that I often forget with Sorcerer, but in the rules it says, right, if, you know, for, you know, role playing or decisions that kind of further the plot along, that the GM can give award bonus dice. So I'm going to award you a bonus die. So we'll add that to the power. So that'll give you 5 die,
Okay.
and that's going to be opposed by 3 die for me.
Okay, so I got 2 10s.
All right. Let's see. After this, I think I'm going to, you know, this is when you roll so many die. So I'm rolling 3. Let me go with a different color here. I will roll clear. All right. So I got 1 10. So 2 of the 10s cancel out, but then you're going to have 1 victory here. So what do you want Percy No Mercy to do? Like, what exactly do you want Percy No Mercy to try to find out?
I wanted to find like a name or like any kind of identity that I could use to track this person down and fuck with them for trying to fuck with me.
Okay, so Percy No Mercy kind of tracks things down, and right, initially comes up against what seems to be another kind of bogus IP as was used in the past, right? I mean, Percy No Mercy says, "Oh, this clearly is this Mephistopheles was here character, or whatever we want to call this troll." But he's able to get kind of past that, and says, "Look, I was coming across two names. I don't know what they mean. They're not really IP addresses, but seems to be like somebody that this Mephistopheles was here character was communicating with. One of the names is Gilcrest, and the other one is Vixa. Not really able to find out much more beyond that, but right was saying that this character through the, I was kind of able to kind of figure out that Mephistopheles was either in communication with, or kind of passing information to, or wanted information to be passed to Gilcrest and Vixa. I don't and then question mark, like the pondering face emoji, right, comes up.
I mean, I thought that I was I'm sorry, Percy No Mercy. I thought I was dealing with elite hacker here, but maybe I should have asked my little brother who plays Minecraft to help me with this.
You get back a sad face from Percy No Mercy, and also an angry face from Percy No Mercy.
I mean, come on, Percy. I've seen you make a 12-year-old Keisha fan cry on the internet. I mean, it's a little bit pot calling the kettle black right now.
Okay. Percy says, wait a sec. Let's do this, actually. Let's do I'm thinking it would be good for another role, and you're trying to kind of push Percy No Mercy a little bit further to see what other information, and maybe
I was also just role playing, so
yeah, but I think that's good. I mean, that wanting more information, and I'm going to give you another bonus die for this. I will give you a bonus die, and I will also allow you to roll your victory into this roll. Right, with Sorcerer, when you kind of like when you extend, like you have another roll that's kind of building on a previous roll, you can roll victories. And it's going to be your will against your demon's will.
Okay.
At this point, your demon's will is Percy No Mercy has a will of 4. So you'll be rolling 7 die, and Percy No Mercy will roll 4. And I'm going to clear all these first, because it's getting very busy. All right, so I'll roll 4. All right, and Percy. Okay, so you got three victories. So Percy No Mercy says, right? So you have the 9, 9, and 7 higher than my highest, so that's 3 victories. Percy No Mercy says, wait a second. And it's more than a second. I mean, he's gone for a couple minutes, but he eventually comes back and says something, Deals Brewing with Icy and Spicy and Pink Flamingos. And Mephistopheles involved, or Mephistopheles was here involved.
I give him a little troll heart and a winky face, and then I'm going to go investigate.
Okay. All right, so we'll end the scene there, and so at this point, let me ask: does anybody? I think we could go back to Zip to see what he's able to. Are you like poring over that document?
So yeah, I've been thinking about that. I think Zip has two approaches. First, he's like reading the words, and he thinks, I can out lawyer a lawyer ? And then as he's reading it, he's like, I don't even know what that word means. I've never seen a word with that many syllables. I'm just the guy who signs contracts and gets them signed. I'm not responsible for like the meaning of all of these legal words. Mm-hmm. And so he was sitting outside the pool on a nice reclining chair of some variety, and just kind of pouring through it page over page, gets frustrated, grabs the whole thing, heads back to the room that he's staying at, and he's going to do some positive mindset exercises with this contract. And so he has this little brazier that he carries everywhere. It's just part of the positive mindset ritual, right? And so he has to start the brazier, get some incense going, and start repeating phrases that empower him. And so this contract is to my favor is one of the phrases that he's repeating over and over while standing menacingly over the contract to try and impose his will upon the contract, as is taught by his coven.
Okay. Is this going to be then using you have the boost ability? Is that what you're going to be using?
I didn't even think about what that looked like mechanically. I think that makes sense, the boost ability.
I mean, because it's for your will.
It's not confused. Yeah, It is me trying to convince the contract that it wants to do my bidding and not some other entity's bidding.
Okay. Let's just double check here on the details of this contract. All right. So I think that you will be, well, you certainly have many dice in your favor. So let's go on and do this. And I mean, it really makes sense to me that, you're kind of, looking at this contract, want it to kind of be in your favor, that you're wanting to kind of exert your will on this. And so if you want to use that boost ability, I think that your demon would be happy to give you the assist on this. So, I mean, you have a will of 5, which is pretty good, right? And then your demon can actually, it's the power of the demon, right? So that would get added, and I'll give you a bonus die for this as well. And so you'll roll 11, and just choose. Should
we clear the dice that are there, or should we?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
And this is going to be against a paltry 5. I'm going to use clear die for my 5. I did get a 10, so we'll see. All right, so the way this works, we both have a 10, so those just cancel out, and we go down, from there. So you end up having three victories here, or actually 2 victories, right? Because we both got a 7, but
Right.
you have the 9 and the 8, so you have 2 victories. You're trying to pull it into your favor. I would say that the contract looks like a pretty sweet deal to you overall. Yeah. There are 3 I don't know that you'd call it sticking points, maybe too strong, but there is a clause in there that gives when you sign this, it's going to give first right of refusal to a firm called Rise and Redwell. So there's like a first right of refusal clause in this.
Yeah.
And this, Wise and Redwell doesn't, that has not been mentioned, right? That has not been mentioned. There is a clause that says that when you take this over, you may not change the management for 12 months. That the people who are currently managing Icy and Spicy have to stay in place for at least 12 months. And that the other clause is that the contract has to be signed in front of Tisane.
And so I think I am fine with 2 of those 3 clauses. It's just this weird third party. That the first clause that you really pointed out, that it's like, I don't like that. Management's doing great. There's no reason to change management. Signing in person makes sense to me. You need it notarized or something. I don't know. And so, yeah, I think with that, I'm happy to flash forward to dinner time, either now or after a break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and would you tell Rad? What would you communicate to Rad about?
Rad full transparency. My job was to analyze this thing, and I'm not going to tell him that I basically divined my way to finding these 3, but I am going to point these 3 clauses out and give him my assessment that the first one is very concerning. The second and third one, I think that they're quite reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Rad says, do you think that, I don't know, like Wise and Redwell?
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of a racket. It's kind of like the reason that we're dealing with this investment company instead of directly with the seller today. And when we decide that it's time to sell, we're going to be on the receiving end of that stick again. It's like we get it coming in, we get it coming out.
Mm-hmm. All right, so why don't we'll go down there and we'll just ask him to strike it.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got 3 clauses we got a problem with, and if you strike this first one, we got a deal.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I'm not short on cash. So if it costs a little bit more to, we can negotiate it, right? We could, say, okay, if how about we sweeten the pot a little bit and pay them a little bit more, and
and just not have to worry about that when we sell this asset.
Yeah, sounds great. Right. So excellent. you set that up, and that's the plan kind of going into it.
Yeah.
So let me just we'll take a break here in a second, but let me see with Greg and Steven, any ideas as to what you want your sorcerers to be up to?
So the messages that that Pierce was able to find for me Did they implied that it was the management or the company that was doing the property exchange that they were having the messages with? Either way, I'm probably gonna go and harass the management of Hot and Spicy, basically.
Okay. And we'll put you there at the same time that that Zip is there when you're going to be kind of showing up at the Hot and Spicy. And let's see what Jackson has a nice time with Mr. Wallace. You all wake up the next day. What would oh, and I would also say that you all have a lovely evening, but the next morning, Jackson, he still actually seems a little not quite himself. You would think that if it was just alcohol or something, it would have worn off. He's still a little, not really, kind of still needing kind of help. He's not walking quite straight, and that cut on his hand, he's really says this thing is really painful.
Can I take a look at it?
Yeah. Yeah, he says actually it's probably good. Would you please, maybe change, we can maybe change the bandage and kind of clean it out. And so, yeah, you can kind of unwrap it, and it looks like a nasty cut. And I'm actually going to have you roll. See, this is going to be, I know what we will do. It'll be rolling with your lore. What is your lore score?
Not good, a 2.
Okay. And I'm going to have that be versus 3 on my end. So I'm going to roll 3. And I'll roll the clear color. Yeah, so I have 2 victories here.
Yep.
Yeah, so it just looks like I would say this. It looks like a nasty cut. Wallace says it's a paper cut. It doesn't look like just an ordinary paper cut to you. It looks, first of all, it's not just one cut. It's multiple cuts, and they are deeper than what you would expect any normal paper cut could do.
Even a manila folder paper cut.
Yeah. Unless you were like, really, working it in, right? Yeah. That just doesn't, just looking at it, it doesn't make sense to you, right? That this would just be
right. Okay.
Yeah. So with that, let's go on and take our next break, and we'll come back maybe at like a quarter past the hour. That sound good? Okay.
So Robbie, just to jump in real quick, I had one question. These flaming ingots. I assume that I've had them before and had no ill effects.
Yeah. That.
Okay.
I think you can actually they can kind of also be slightly different drinks, but they have like this kind of pink fluorescent additive that they can put in various drinks, and they can also put if you pay a little bit more, they can put like this topper on it that they can light on fire, which some people kind of like for the show of it. You've had them before, and right, that they haven't had this kind of impact. I was also thinking it would be appropriate that, like, after dressing James's wound, you know, he watches you doing it. He says, "Oh, you're always so good to me." He's being very tender with you as you're kind of cleaning this out. But then he just goes to sleep. He says, I don't think I'm going to be much use today. I think I don't know what hit me, but you know, he basically kind of he says, I just need to sleep it off. And so he wants to go back to the bed, and he's obviously very tired, and he, you know, is snoozing away. So let me just start with you. I mean, with him doing that, what would Jackson do at that point?
Head straight for Pink Flamingos.
Okay.
He is not one to deliberate about stuff. So.
All right, so you're going to go. We'll kind of take it up with you, because, like, I'm imagining this is like the mid-morning, right? And you know, Pink Flamingos won't be. There will be people there, but it won't be open yet. You know, it'll be a mid-morning thing. I mean, Pink Flamingos would open up like around, you know, in time for the lunch crowd. So, you know, they'll be open. Let's say you get there at about 10, they'll be open, you know, typically at 11 o'clock is when they would get things rolling. But there are people there. Obviously, there are people kind of getting ready for the day. So what would Jackson do at that point? Does he want to go in at this point, or does he wait till it's open?
Well, let's go with the reckless, and he's going to try and like sneak in a back way if he can, or if he can't, try and use his cloak ability to just walk right in the door. Although I suppose that's locked too at this point. So he's going to try and
Sneak in
somehow. Yeah, find a.
Yeah, and I like the idea.
Either find a door or something that he can do, or try and tag along with like a delivery person or something.
Yeah, and do you want to use the cloak ability?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So with cloak, the demon's power is subtracted from the perception dice of anyone who might perceive the universe. I mean, I'm sorry, who might perceive the user. You would be the user. Yeah, I mean, I think that probably, you know, periodically, like there would be a back kind of entrance where people would be going in and out of, you know, periodically at the front door, somebody would, you know, a worker would appear there, a server or something, you know, and they would kind of knock in. But yeah, it makes sense to me that you could use that cloak ability to try to kind of sneak in and say the cloak ability. Trying to think of how we could turn this into, because I think it really would, you know, with the power of 5, it's going to make it very difficult.
I mean, yeah, unless there's some like supernatural like creature guarding it, I don't see how anyone would actually be able to see them.
Correct, because like anybody, I don't think anybody would have a 5 ability or greater to be able to see.
Yeah, I think most normal people would never notice.
Yeah, so you get in, and you know, it's you know, it seems from what, you know, in your mind would be a normal day as you know, happening, right? I mean, they're just kind of getting things ready to kind of open. They're doing cleaning, they're doing restocking, and all of that type of stuff.
Well, I'll head straight for the back offices or the basement.
Okay.
You know, with whatever sort of inner parts of it might be
Yeah, I mean,
there.
you kind of quickly kind of pick up on that with that cloak in effect. Nobody is noticing you at all, and they're also distracted, right? I mean, on top of it, they all have their business. So why don't you just tell me what is it that you would be seeking here? I mean, are you seeking to kind of get some information? Are you wanting to overhear people? I mean, are you gonna want to go to an office where? I mean, what would Jackson be looking
I am
for?
suspicious of the management specifically, since there's that clause that can't fire the management. So I wonder what they're up to. So if I can sneak into an office and start, looking through stuff, or if I can,
Okay.
find one of them and listen in on their conversations, whatever is available
Yeah.
along those lines.
Okay. I'm going to give you information here, but I feel like I want to do a roll to see exactly how much information you're going to get. Some information out of this. But in terms of seeing how much information, and I mean, this might also be a case where, I mean, you're trying to figure things out. So it seems like that's kind of a will area. So I think if you wanted to use your demon's boost ability, that could come into play here.
That would also reduce his cloak to 1. So
yeah, I don't think that would be necessarily a big problem, because like you could probably put yourself, I think this is gonna, in my mind, this is a combination of you're moving around, you're kind of figuring out who is the top management, what can I hear them talking about, what I can go into an office when it's not occupied, and right there, the cloak may actually not even be necessary, because if you were there when nobody was around, you could, just kind of look through things. So let's go on and if you wanted to use that boost for the will, you can do that and add that to your, add the demon's power to your own will. And let's.
I will do that, and thereby reducing the cloak down to 1. So we'll see what happens.
And I'm going to roll 4 on my side. So I'm going to go on, and I did get a 10. So we'll see what happens.
And I've got 8, I think.
Yeah, the power plus
8.
Yeah.
Ha!
Oh, yeah, 3 10. So the first 2 cancel out. So you end up having two victories on this. All right. So what you find out is that there is one thing you definitely find out is that the management, in addition to running this business, is also very actively involved in an illicit drug business, right? That they're kind of operating, like when the club is kind of going, that there's also a kind of drug transactions that are happening. And you find out that the previous owner of the club has been effectively dealt with. and that the management is happy about the fact that the previous owner has been effectively dealt with. They don't go into details about it, but you know, the sense is like,
Right.
okay, right, that they're
You know when someone says that, what it means. Yes.
yes. and that they are led to believe that the new owner is not going to be a problem, right, in terms of what's going on at the club right now. And I think you also kind of would hear occasionally you hear mention of the Icy and Spicy mentioned as right somehow also kind of you know that that's like a few a couple blocks down the way is
Right.
the Icy and Spicy, but that
My reaction was mostly me kind of in character going, Icy and Spicy, what's up with that? But,
but that there's some kind of coordination kind of going on, right? That we in the Icy and Spicy, we're free and clear now, right? That right, previous problems have worked themselves out. The previous owner has been taken care of. We have a new owner that has no idea, no clue of what's going on, and but is had the money to put up for this, and right, they're all kind of happy about what they've heard about how things went down yesterday.
Okay.
And
So
I mean, clearly they're happy because they have some illicit business that's kind of taking place, and right, they kind of give you a very clear sense that the previous owner had kind of caught wind of the kind of drug trafficking that had been happening and was going to put his foot down, but he's now been taken care of.
And that's my biggest concern is I think I don't want James to get caught up in some sort of drug scandal if it's discovered that his club has been having this thriving drug market going on. I'm a little bit worried about them taking care of the owners, but they seem to think James is harmless, so let them continue to think that. The Icy and Spicy thing, I'm just mystified. Is it one of those weird real estate things? I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, after you get this information, what would Jackson do at this point? I mean, where would he go? I mean, you kind of, you feel like working through the documents and kind of listening to them, you kind of have put together, right, this is what you're able to put together. What would he do at that point?
I think just kind of pull back and wait for evening, maybe, when there's likely to be drug dealing going on, and see, kind of look into the details of that when that's going on, with an eye towards possibly exposing them, or at least getting enough detail that I could pass to James. Oh gosh, he's gonna have to think about this one. So
okay. All right. Well, let's go on and we'll cut then to Zip and Smart Not Swift at the Icy and Spicy. So Zip, you show up. I think we said about 6 o'clock that you would be there. Okay.
Yeah.
So you show up. Actually, I thought this might be fun. So since we have both Smart there and Zip there at the Icy and Spicy, I had some kind of questions to kind of fill in. By the way, Icy and Spicy is the name of an actual, I think it's an ice cream place, but like I'm kind of reimagining it as a slightly different place than what it actually is. But I was gonna, for this would be a question for Nicholas and Stephen. I have 3 questions, and maybe have each of you. You don't have to answer all 3, but each of you take on one of them. Like, why is the Icy and Spicy so popular? What first catches your eye when you enter the Icy and Spicy? And why is the name Icy and Spicy fitting for this place? So if you want to, like, with those 3 questions, each just take on one of those.
Before we get into those questions, we know so far that the Icy and Spicy offers food services, right? Because I'm having dinner there.
Correct.
What else do we know about the Icy and Spicy? Is it a club? Is it?
It's popular among the. I imagine the Icy and Spicy as being more kind of targeting the 20-something crowd, and the Pink Flamingos as targeting maybe the late 20s to early 30s crowd, so a slightly older clientele that would be there. I am imagining it more as a place that offers food, but then I think after hours they, to increase the profits, they kind of bring in a DJ and they have some kind of clubbing activity that would be going on there.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so what first catches my eye?
Or why is it so popular, or why is the name fitting?
Yeah. So I think they get part of their name from they just have like gone full tilt into dry ice and having kind of a fog go through the establishment, and serving hot drinks, drinks that have like actual hot sauce in them. And so you kind of get this vibe of you've got the mist and the cool atmosphere and you're drinking a hot drink. And so that's how it got the Icy and Spicy name.
Okay. All right. And then, Stephen, that would leave us with why is it so popular, and what first catches your eye when you enter the Icy and Spicy?
I'm suddenly trying to remember. What's that liqueur that's usually served with like kind of coffee?
Like there's Kahlua.
Like Bailey's?
Yeah, Bailey's. That's it. I was trying to think. I think that it's like it's like a cocktail of like ice cream, root beer, and Bailey's. Is there like with like a little Tabasco added for spice? That is their signature drink and like very popular.
Okay, so they have this like, interesting sweet but spicy Bailey's Irish cream drink.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with Smart.
I would like there also to be like a free drink challenge if you could do the one that has like the super hot sauce that they hide behind the bar. So they have the same signature drink, but if they reach under the counter and grab the black bottle and put a little bit of hot sauce on it, you could have that for free if you can finish it.
Yeah, it has like, what are they, like the Carolina Reaper? Like they have like some of these like super hot Right. And so, yeah, it's this big challenge, which nobody is ever able to really survive because
And no one ever does it, right? Like
But
once a
lots
month, you
of
get
guys
some
in
ignorant
pain.
person who comes in there and really regrets what they did.
right. Unless they've already had a lot of drinks previously, right? And
Right.
are not thinking straight. But maybe that's another big draw is that every once in a while they get some person who actually takes the challenge and fails horribly and miserably, right?
I'm thinking it's actually, not entirely uncommon. I mean, you got young guys at a bar wanting to show off.
Oh, yeah.
Know.
So it probably does
Yeah,
happen all the time.
there's the spring break crowd. It happens like 5 times a night.
They get a few drinks in them, and
they try it and end up writhing in pain. Yes.
Yes.
That's one of the draws of this place.
So let's go to smart. I mean, you show up in the early evening. Like, what is your intention here? What are you going to try to do?
Well, I think initially my plan is to make a loud scene and demand to see the management, and I think I'll just order the signature cocktail.
Okay, well, like creating
scene in some order. Like I think I'll do those in some order.
Okay. What would be?
I have my cell phone out, and I am very loudly presenting a tirade about the low quality of the Baileys that they are serving, and really, if one wanted an authentic flaming vanilla root beer float, one would be going to the I don't know other Miami neighborhood here, because I do not know Miami neighborhoods.
Okay. And you are verbalizing this, and
while I have my phone out, I am live streaming my tirade. Just to be clear.
Okay. So you will quickly draw the attention of the management. You get.
Oh, good. I only had to express my extreme discontent with this, my valid discontent with this second-rate establishment before I would finally get management to come out and see me. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna. This will be fun. Let me get I need to get my notes here, so I know what I would be rolling with. So yeah, you get a tall. I imagine the Icy and Spicy would have some type of uniform that all of the servers and the management kind of wear. I think it's probably like an icy blue and white kind of uniform that they wear. With the management have like a sport jacket, like maybe like an ice blue sport jacket with a white shirt and ice blue pants. There's a kind of large fellow who kind of comes over to you as you are kind of on your tirade, and you're also kind of tweeting this out, and that's where I think a little roll would be in order. And So your demon, like when you're normally tweeting, are you relying on your demon at all, or are you just normally?
Well, I have him. I have him. He is the official moderator for my Twitter account. Hashtag love you, Percy No Mercy. Should I be? You said to roll something. What are we?
Yeah, I think maybe like if Percy is your official kind of moderator, why don't we use his power? I'll go on and also throw in a bonus die in there. And see with this opposed roll, it's only going to be a 3. And let's go on and clear. We'll clear all these away. And I'm going to roll 3, and you'll roll your demon's power +1.
All right. So let's see. That would be a 5, right? 5 10s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that's a 6 is my highest.
Okay, so you're trying to tweet this out, right? So I got a victory here.
Mm-hmm, yeah. I am a representative of the public who is interested in what is going on here in this recent change of ownership to non-local authorities.
Okay.
As an unofficial public representative, I demand answers.
Okay. So 2 things happening here. On the Percy No Mercy side, Percy tweets back and says, there seems to be some, he doesn't know if it's a Wi-Fi connection issue, if it's a Twitter outage issue, or what. But these messages that you are trying to send out to your public on the Twitter side of things, it's not happening, right? That there seems to be some type of a blockage. And Percy No Mercy says, this has never happened before, right? Or he just thinks that this is odd, right? Right, there's something that's happening with your Twitter feed right now. You know, you in the restaurant.
This is what I get for not springing for that data plan.
you have this large manager kind of approaching you and kind of taking you by the arm and says, you are disturbing our patrons. You will need to exit the building.
I am disturbing your patrons. Your drinks are disturbing your patrons, sir. As I have one of their cocktails in my other hand, and it has just a pile of whipped cream on top.
And just to afford the opportunity, let's say that Zip is there, right? You're kind of there with Rad, and you do hear this kerfuffle that is transpiring. Would you do anything at this point?
I think normally I would just let that be in the background, but at this moment I have a vested interest, or soon to be vested interest, in how the management performs. So I think I want to silently observe and assess for myself, does management handle stressful situations appropriately?
Okay. I think there is a role to see.
And I like that Taylor like keeps sipping on that drink while
Yes.
just going on tirade.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yep. Exactly.
You guys are horrible.
Exactly.
Let's roll. So let me get, let's see, Zip, you're going to roll your lore versus Steven's cover. And then we'll do the opposite the other way. But yeah, let's go on and start with that. So if Nicholas, if you'll roll 4 dice.
Okay,
versus,
I'm gonna clear the 3 dice that are there.
Yeah, go on and just clear everything out and
Whoop. Okay, 4 dice, here they come.
okay,
That's
and then
not
Steven,
great.
if you roll 5.
Why am I rolling 5?
This is going to be to see, because like you're directly encountering each other. This is going to be to see if anybody's
Yeah, but where
able
does
to
the
pick up,
5th dice come from?
because of your cover.
Oh, right. Sorry, I was looking at my demon stat. Sorry, that's right. 5.
Oh, I never calculated my cover.
It's equal to the higher of stamina or will.
Okay, that's 2 8s.
Okay. Okay, so Zip is gonna just kind of see this as for some reason there's this kind of unruly patron in the there, and let's go on and clear it, and then we're going to do it the other way. And so for this one, it's going to be Steven's lore, which is 3 versus 5 cover for Zip. So we can clear those away.
A couple 7s for Zip.
Okay, and let me...
Ooh, I've been noticed, I think.
Yeah. So it's
the necklace.
You can't not see the necklace.
Yeah. So smart. You're kind of creating this ruckus. Zip, you just see it as some somebody who's kind of starting to kind of make a scene there. But
I'm actually kind of impressed with how management is like sequestering and controlling the situation.
yeah, I think you are. I think the management is kind of dealing with this with that kind of combination of being kind of polite, but also right. I mean, this guy is physically the manager that is there is a kind of physically imposing specimen, and he's kind of working him out. But Taylor is able to see this fellow, and you kind of notice that kind of strange necklace around Zip's neck, and I mean, I
possibly even my tell, which was the brand on the hand.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that I think both of those kind of stick out in.
I think I maybe fall silent a little bit when I notice him, and I think in that moment, I'm distracted enough that like I stop fighting, and then they like actually physically pick me up and like carry me out of the club.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I'm actually I'm looking at the time here. I think that might be a good little, like, we'll kind of cut it mid scene, and we'll pick it up there kind of next time, with Stephen being forcefully but respectfully kind of dropped outside of the Icy and Spicy, and we'll see what Zip and Rad get up to in terms of kind of closing this deal, and also what Smart is going to do after he gets after they get kind of booted out of the Icy and Spicy, at least temporarily.
Yeah, just a quick nod from Skip to Rad saying, "Good management. I approve of the management here."
Yeah, I think Rad says, yeah, that seems to be a pretty effective way of handling unruly people who would disrupt the business here. But yeah, we'll go on and end it there.